Hi, it's Miss Sarah. Today I have two new letters for you. I have Timothy Tiger, or Timmy Tiger, as we call him in our song. And his letter is T. And I have Umber, the umbrella bird, and her favorite letter is U. So let's blow a bubble so we're ready to listen, and then we'll talk about their sounds. And I have a wonderful book for you. Are you ready? Here we go. Let's blow a bubble. It isn't any trouble. Let it fly up to the sky and then go pop. Ready? Teeny tiny. Let's blow a bubble. It isn't any trouble. Let it fly up to the sky and then go.
Giant bubbles.
Let's blow a bubble. It isn't any trouble. Let it fly up to the sky and then go pop. Here we go. Are you ready? So, Timothy Tiger, or Timmy Tiger's favorite letter is T. T's sound and signal are T, T, T. You gotta show your muscles like Timmy Tiger. T, T, T. Right? T, 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 T. Now, Umber, umbrella bird. Her sign and signal are fun, but I have to put her down while I do it. Are you ready? So you put one hand on your head for your umbrella, and one hand is your wing, and you go as she flies up. Ready? Umber, umbrella bird, and her letter U. Perfect. So for today's story, I have a book called Tad and Dad. And I see that uppercase T for Tad. And Dad starts with a D, like deer. Dad. So, Tad and Dad, Words and Pictures by David Ezra Stein. Which one do you think is Tad? And which one do you think is Dad? Is Tad the little one and Dad the big one? Makes sense, right? Aren't dads usually bigger than little kids? Here we go. Tad and Dad by David Ezra Stein. He did the words and the pictures. He is an author, illustrator. 2 jobs. Man, writing stories and drawing words. Or pictures, sorry. Writing stories and drawing pictures. Here we go. My dad is big. He has big, buggy eyes, strong legs, and a huge mouth. Oh, look at his huge mouth open. He sings in a loud burp that echoes across the pond. And I love him. Oh, look at Dad. He loves his dad. As soon as I could wiggle, I swam everywhere with my dad. Look at me, Dad. Look, he's following his dad.
Great swimming, Tad.
Dad tried to tuck me in at night, but splash! I followed him to his bed. Oh my goodness. Tad isn't staying in his bed. He wants to sleep by Dad.
Why are you in my bed?
Said Dad. So you won't miss me, I said. I went to sleep, and I dreamt that I could swim as fast as Dad. That sounds like a good dream. And then I grew legs. Surprise, Dad! So
that's what was kicking me, says Dad.
Oh my goodness. It was Tad kicking him with his new legs. That day, I reached my for new heights. Look at me, Dad. Oh my goodness, he's jumping so high.
Great hopping, son.
Dad tried to tuck me in at night, but splash! I followed him to bed. That night, I dreamt I was the best jumper in the world, just like my dad. Aww. And then I grew a big mouth, and I could sing, "Good morning, Dad."
Is it morning already?
Oh man, look at Dad. He looks tired. I think Tad woke him up. Tired and surprised, didn't he? That day, the pond was alive with the sound of music made by my dad. Look at his big mouth is open. He's ribbiting really loud. And by me. There's Tad. He's ribbiting just as loud as his dad. Dad tried to tuck me in at night, but splash! It's me, Tad, I said. That night, I dreamt I could sing as loud as my dad. Look at Dad's holding the lily pad over his head like, oh my goodness, kid, quiet down. Too loud. Trying to, and he looked tired. Did you see that? He looked so tired. He's like, oh, I'm trying to sleep here, kid. And then I grew really big, and I was very hungry. Hi, Dad. What's for breakfast? Oh, Dad looks grumpy. Tad is sitting on his head, and I think he woke him up again. That day, we helped ourselves to a feast. Look at me, Dad! Oh my goodness, look, he threw his tongue out so much and caught a fly.
Good shot, son.
Dad tried to tuck me in that night, but... Do you think Tad is going to stay in his own bed? What do you think? All the other nights, Dad would tuck him in, and Tad would end up sleeping with Dad on the lily pad. Let's see if it works this time.
Sploosh!
Oh my goodness! Look how big he is!
Tad, said Dad, when you jump on my bed, I can't sleep because you're always wiggling and poking and kicking and croaking.
Oh, I didn't know that, I said.
Why do you want to sleep on my bed, said Dad. Why are you trying to drive me bananas?
Oh my goodness, I think Dad is a little frustrated with Tad not staying in his own bed. Do you guys ever sleep with your parents? Do they ever get a little grumpy? People get grumpy if they don't get enough sleep. I'm sorry, Dad, but don't worry. I don't want to sleep in your bed anymore. Anyway, you snore. What? He snores? Silly.
How can I snore when I don't even sleep, said Dad.
Good night, Dad, I said. For the first time, I swam away from my dad. Look, there's Dad sleeping, and there goes Tad.
Ah,
said Dad.
Peace at last.
Oh no, look, there goes Tad, far away from Dad. I tried to go to sleep, but I heard a big hubbub. Someone huge was splashing around.
Frog on it,
said a loud voice. Who is it? I couldn't believe my eyes. It was Dad. He was wiggling and poking and kicking and croaking, and he was splashing all around and making a big ruckus. What's wrong, Dad? I asked.
I still can't sleep.
Oh my goodness, look at how big his eyes are. He cannot sleep. I think I know what you need, Dad. You need a little company. Is that better, Dad? Oh, look, he's kind of cuddling up to his daddy.
Maybe better,
Dad said. Dad's looking a little bit happier. Soon, Dad was fast asleep. I was right. I knew he would miss me. Aww. Dad couldn't sleep without Tad after all those days of them sharing their bed. Did you notice any changes in Tad in this book? Did you see him growing? It even said at one point that he grew legs. So if Tad didn't have legs at the beginning, and he is a baby, well, because Dad is what? A frog, right? And if Tad is a baby frog, you know what we call a baby frog? A tadpole. And tadpoles, when they're born, look a lot like teeny tiny fish. A tadpole grows, and as it grows, soon it will grow legs, and its little fishtail gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and then eventually the fishtail is gone, and the tadpole will have 4 legs, just like a frog, and he'll be able to hop, right? Didn't you see that? Right there, look, there's Tad with his legs and a tiny tail still. But he can hop now. And here's Tad. Oh, look, Tad's tail is gone, and he has 4 legs. Now he looks even more like a frog and less like a tadpole. Pretty cool, huh? And then, once we get here, Tad really, really looks just like his dad, except smaller. He's got a little more eating and growing to do, huh? I wonder what a tadpole eats. If frogs eat bugs, do tadpoles eat bugs? Perhaps you can ask a grown-up to help you do some investigating. Look for a kid's video about the life cycle of a frog. Life cycle is a circle. So we start with grown-up frogs, then we get eggs, then we get tadpoles, then the tadpoles grow legs and turn into frogs. And then the frogs lay eggs. Out of the eggs come tadpoles. Tadpoles grow legs, and then they turn to frogs. It's a circle. It just keeps going around. A life cycle. A life cycle. Pretty cool, huh? Check out some videos on tadpoles and the life cycle of frogs. Maybe you can find out what a tadpole eats. I wonder if they eat little plants in the water or teeny tiny bugs, and frogs eat big bugs? Maybe. Let's see. Do you remember who this was? Did you say Timmy Tiger? And what's his sign and signal? T, t, t. Get your whistles. T, t, t. And do you remember who this was? Umbrella Bird. And her sign and signal, or sign and sound? Umbrella Bird. Thanks for joining me today.